Hi, I'm Guy Hutchinson, and this is Pointless Nostalgia. Today we're going to take a close look at this Haunted Mansion clue game. I love this thing, man. Look at the artwork on there. We'll go through it. The one thing I remember thinking when I first saw it was, did somebody die in this? Is Mr. Body dead? I want to know about it. I'm going to tell you all about it. We'll read the rules. We'll look at the board game. We'll check all of it out. By the way, I do a nostalgic video like this every day at 2 o'clock, so make sure to come back tomorrow. I want to show you real quick a couple other clue items I saw walking over here with the board game, and I was like, I'm gonna pull that one off the shelf and pull that up. So this is the first one, clue for Sega Genesis. So this, to me, when this first came out, what does it say here? This was $2.95 at the Goodwill. When this first came out, I remember thinking, well, what a stupid thing this is. Why would you do this? You can just play the board game. You get your friends over, you just play the board game. You're not going to play on Sega Genesis. This is for Sonic. This isn't for this stupid game. You know, the greatest, by the way, the greatest board game of all. I think this is legitimately, there's none better. Only problem with this game, and I realized more when I got older, is when you're a kid, you can easily get together 2 other kids. You need 3 people to play Clue. So, all of a sudden, as an adult, I was like, this makes a lot of sense because adults are lonely. And so I have played this. This one's a lot of fun. And here is the other one I wanted to show you. We got to dig into this one day, the Clue VCR game. VCR games were a real thing. They had a moment in this country, and boy, I love this moment. So what these would be, and let me just, I'm going to pop this open and show you the content. Now, first thing, it always comes with a VHS. I have transferred this to a DVD. I got to transfer this now again to digital, although I'm sure if you look around, you could probably find this on YouTube. So I probably don't need to worry about it disappearing as much as I did in the past. So for this version of the game, they show the cast here on the back, by the way. You had this video cassette and you had your scorecards, which looked like this. And what you would do is you would play based on the video cassette. So like you'd have to, you know, draw a card or whatever, and that you would physically do. But then sometimes you would go to the videotape and it would tell you what to do next. And it would show you these scenes with a lot of tremendous acting. So we'll dig into that one day. Now let's take a look at the Mickey Mouse Haunted Mansion clue game. This comes in a very cool tin, which I really like. Unfortunately, I bought it years ago and it came dented, and I was like, I should return this. I should have returned this. Welcome, foolish mortals. So the way this works is the ghosts are dying to follow you home. So there is no Mr. Body. You're just trying to figure out which ghost is going to haunt you for the rest of your life, I guess. You've got your figurines. Like here is Donald Duck. These are the characters that you play as. You don't have like Colonel Mustard. You have Goofy, you have Pluto, you have Daisy Duck. Look at these. That is pretty cool. Very cool to look at. It's the reason you get this game, is because you want this cool little Disney twist, and definitely this Haunted Mansion twist on this game. When you have your 3 cards, when you put them in the board, this is what they go in. It says Madame Leota's reading. So Madame Leota in the ride is the one with the big crystal ball. So there's Madame Leota. Right. Here is all of the cards. So we'll start off with our characters. You've got Minnie Mouse. Guess she's the Miss Scarlet. You got Donald Duck. Donald Duck, maybe Colonel Mustard. I think, you know, he's a military man. Mickey Mouse. There you go, Mr. Green. Daisy Duck, Miss Scarlet. Goofy, Mr. Yellow. Is that in Reservoir Dogs? Maybe I'm not thinking of the right game. I don't know. Goofy's in Reservoir Dogs. He's a dog. Pluto, another dog. Pluto's wearing like a Christmas sweater. All right, here we go. So this is what, the graveyard. So this is where the grim grinning ghost heads are, and this is kind of the fun part of the ride. When you do the ride, actually, I'm gonna put these in order. One second. All right, I put them in an order that I think makes more sense. You start off in the foyer. So this is at the beginning of the ride. before you're seated, before you go in the room with the stretching portraits. This is the room that you go in. There's like a fireplace, and there's an old man's picture on it, and if you watch it, stuff happens. The portrait chamber is next. So this is where you have the 4 paintings: the guy on the quicksand, or the 3 guys, the one guy on top of the tower, the man standing on the dynamite, the woman tightrope walking over an alligator, and the old lady that killed her husband. You see all those portraits. That stuff's a lot of fun. Then the lights go out and you look up and you can see into the attic where Mr. Body is hanging. And then you get on the ride. This is the conservatory. They say, do not touch the safety bar. I'll lower it for you. There's the library. Go through the library. Here is the Seance Room. So this is the room with Madame Leota. And then the original story behind the Haunted Mansion. There's the ballroom where they're all dancing. If you notice, you can see 2 things in this. You can see several things in this. Sometimes there's a hidden Mickey and the plates on the table. The granny from the Carousel of Progress is one of the ghosts. The organ in the Haunted Mansion in Disneyland is the one from the movie 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. The one in Florida is a replica of that. The men are leading the women in the dance. No, the women are leading the men in the dance because the men were leading them, and then it's reversed. So what you're looking at, the women are leading, which is fun. So then you go into the graveyard. This is with the grim grinning ghosts, with kind of the funny part. The story of the Haunted Mansion, if you look at that point, you're on like the roof and you fall backwards. Then like Don Knotts is there with his dog and they're welcoming you to the cemetery. That apparently was based on Don Knotts, by the way. And then the mausoleum. So this is the end of the ride. They say, hurry back, hurry back. The figurines, I think, are very cool. I think these ghostly figurines are great. I mean, these really look awesome. There's the bride. Let's see if I can get it to focus over here. And there's your hitchhiking ghost. These figures, I think, are less, they're just pretty standard pewter figurines. I mean, the outfits they're wearing are unique, but for the most part, these are pretty run-of-the-mill. Here are your ghost cards, by the way. The ghosts, I think this one is Gus, and then I think this one is Ezra. I like the ghost. This is your score pad, and everything works the same way as Clue. So there's really nothing. I mean, if you know what Clue is, this is Clue. So here's a good look at the tin. You can see each side. And then I want to show you the back. I actually have never peeled this off, but this is just like cardboard, and it's like stuck on with rubber cement. And I bet behind this, because it looks like, I mean, you can tell it's supposed to come off, but I just never removed it, and so I don't want to. But I think behind this would just be the Haunted Mansion logo, maybe a copy of what's on the front of the box, like this maybe is back here. But if not, it just says Clue and Haunted Mansion. I doubt there's something so amazing that, but if it is, one day maybe I'll uncover it and just, whoa. If this video gets 1,000 likes, I'll peel that thing off. And that's Clue. That's fantastic. I enjoyed this. Before you go, remember to beware of hitchhiking ghosts. Right now, a box is going to pop up here and a box pop up here, and the box will follow you home. Hurry back. Make sure to choose a box. Stay spooky.